Narcissists use dating apps to exploit you. Narcissists are always looking for an advantage. They're looking for something to put them in a favourable or superior position. And you are that advantage because you're greater than them. You're superior to them. You have superior qualities and abilities, an abundance of energy and emotions, which they can utilise to their advantage. They can make practical and effective use of your superior qualities and abilities to intensify, increase, and further improve their energy and emotions, which is their narcissistic supply. They get narcissistic supply from being anything other than themselves because they hate themselves. So if they can be something else, they see it as an advantage. They see it as though they've got the upper hand over you. Even if it's something negative, because they can use negative traits to threaten and intimidate you, which they see as a source of power. Because then you're under their control. So as long as they don't have to be their true selves, they feel like they're winning. Which is why they're constantly seeking sources of supply, so that they can steal qualities, characteristics, money, and possessions. Anything that will make them feel like they're something other than their true selves. The problem is that it isn't real. They've stolen these things from other people, so they need constant external validation to support this delusion, which is known as narcissistic supply. And dating apps and social media offer an abundance of supply, which is why narcissists use these things to their advantage. They use dating apps to exploit you by getting you to render your qualities, characteristics, money or possessions over to them, so that they don't have to feel like they are themselves. They don't have to feel like they're weak, deficient, vulnerable, inadequate, because now they have things that belong to or were once associated with someone who is attractive, powerful, high status, which produces narcissistic elation. It brings them a sense of happiness and exhilaration, because they are using their supply to trick their brains into thinking they're something they're not. They exploit you to divert, digress, sidestep, side shift, and downright make things up, just to ensure that they survive emotionally. Which is why your feelings of interest are very important. Because your interest and attention to whatever they're displaying to you on dating apps validates this illusion. It supports the existence of their false self, which gives them an opportunity, a moment to exist outside of themselves, to where they no longer have to reflect on their deep inner feelings of pain and distress, associated with their feelings of shame and inadequacy. Dating apps are a tool to narcissists to distract them from themselves. They use it to disconnect by themselves by focusing on your faults, flaws, weaknesses and deficiencies, your lack of awareness about who they really are, and even your inability to achieve something that doesn't even exist, something that isn't even achievable because it's all a facade. It's something they're using to manipulate you, to capture your interest and attention, even though they have no intention of following it up with action. They can't follow it up with action because it isn't even them. But when they get you to pay attention to their dating profile, when they get you to believe in it, when they entice, seduce, persuade and convince you, it makes it more believable to them, and it allows them to exist in this alternate reality where they become what they are displaying to you. It creates their shared fantasy to where you will then continue supplying them with your interest and attention, even though they don't even have the means to follow it up with action. So you will never actually meet this character. You will never spend time with this kind, loving, pleasant, attractive, enthusiastic person who appears to be deeply interested in you, because it doesn't even exist. It is a mirage. It's something that seems real only if you choose to believe in it, or if they can entrance and entrain you, to where they put you under a spell and they get you to disconnect from yourself, to where you lose all sense of rationality and you're willing to risk it all on a dime because you're not in your rational mind. You're being fueled by your emotions, because there is a lot of passion involved in this activity. You desire this character that they are displaying to you, and they may desire to be this character, or they may just directly desire to own your characteristics, quality, money or possessions, which they are not deserving of, and which would never be naturally shared with them if you were to know that it was a scam. So it allows them to reap the benefits and rewards of being a certain type of person that is similar to you without actually being that person, and without possessing the qualities or characteristics that would make them deserving of whatever they're getting from you. Which is a sweet deal for narcissists. It puts them in a favourable situation, because they're nothing like you. They don't have anything to give, but if they can act as though they are the type of person who is worthy of what you have to give, then they get to bask, soak and bathe in all of your wonderful qualities and gifts. They get to revel, luxuriate, wallow, delight, take pleasure and rejoice in something that they would never normally attain, something that would never normally be available to them, because they do not possess anything that would be of value to you. So dating apps are a very valuable tool for narcissists, because it gives them the opportunity to capture the interest, attentiveness, the undivided attention, absorption and engrossment of a pleasant, attractive, high-status individual who would never normally take notice of them, but now does take notice of them because they're hiding behind a mask, a fake profile, a phone, a keyboard, which then allows them to excite your curiosity and attention. It causes them to be of interest to you, to appeal to you, to attract you, to intrigue and fascinate you, because you have worked on yourself and you take good care of yourself, and they are presenting something that is similar to you. They are presenting something that looks polished, refined, cultivated, polite, well-bred, sophisticated, as though they have style and confidence, and they show great skill, when in actuality they are the opposite of that, and they are seeking all of those characteristics in you, which is what drives and motivates them. They're not driven by love, lust, connection or association. They just want to take what belongs to you by displaying something that looks similar to you, or similar to something that you would like. But inevitably they will fail to deliver their end of the bargain, because that's not really them. They're not who they're presenting themselves to be. If they were, they would just be that, just as you are being you. So they fail to deliver, and eventually you begin to catch on. You begin to realise that something is not right, and this is when they switch it up on you, because they've already baited you in. So this is when the games begin. They might lie to you or use future faking. They might play the victim and act like you need to help or assist them. They might introduce a barrier or something that needs to be overcome. They might devalue you, discredit you, claim that you are not you, or even report you to the dating app, because by this point they're agitated. They're frustrated, but not so much that you don't believe in them, but because they're no longer able to derive these benefits from you. Because that was the only reason why they wanted your attention in the first place. They just wanted the benefits. They wanted everything that was a part of you to be a part of them. So this is when they turn against you. And in their minds it's unfair, because they still believe that they are who they presented themselves to be. They have to believe it, because otherwise that would mean they're a bad person and they have to face consequences. So they hold on to the illusion. They shift the blame onto you. They hold you accountable, which causes them to develop a strong sense of entitlement, to where they feel like you owe them, and then they feel the need to punish you and take revenge, all on the basis of their own inability to accept their own shortcomings. Their inability to accept that they are not deserving of what they wanted from you, and that those characteristics do not belong to them, nor should they be anywhere near them. Because they know they do not possess those same characteristics, they do not possess that same quality. And this is something they just don't want to accept, that they're not good enough, they're not deserving, which is why they use fake profiles. They manipulate people into developing interest in them. They forcefully capture people's attention on a promise that they can't even deliver. They use all of these tactics to make something seem real when it is not real, because they just want to be something. They want the praise, the compliments, the attention, the acclaim, the qualities that they don't even possess, traits that don't even mean anything to them. Because they want to be loved, they want to be accepted. The problem is they just don't have the traits that are worthy of acceptance or love. They have traits that are worthy of disgust and contempt, because they didn't put in the work. They didn't go through the trials and tribulations to build character. They were not cultivated, so they are fraudulent. They are unjustifiably claiming and being credited with particular accomplishments or qualities that they don't even possess, because it is obtained solely by deception, by duplicity, double dealing, fraud. They use tricks and schemes to get what they want, because they know they are not deserving. They know that the person they are and the qualities they have are not deserving of help, praise, or a reward, because they're not genuinely trying to be better or to become something for real. They're just pretending. They don't actually want to do the work. And they have no interest in benefiting anyone other than themselves. This is why they wear a mask. It's why they hide their true motives and intentions, because they know that people like this are not wanted in society. They know their behaviour and the people that they got is not serving anyone. It's not helping anyone to grow or be better. It's destroying people. It's making everything worse. And yet they want to conceal themselves so that they can continue taking advantage of the benefits that our communities have to offer, while they're not promoting love. They're not being positive or encouraging. They're not providing support, confidence, or hope. They're not. They're degrading, humiliating, demeaning, shaming, mortifying. They're bringing people down. People who are trying to give love. People who are trying to raise other people's spirits. Because they're meant to the gill. They require encouragement and support, but that is only for their false self, because they have given up on their true self. They believe that society has failed them, but no matter what you do for them, it will never be enough. They are insatiable. They will always want more. They will take everything and still blame and punish you, because it has nothing to do with reality. They are disordered. They have a sickness of the mind, to where no matter how much you pour into them, it will never sustain them. They will always expect more from you before they ever think to reciprocate anything back to you. They are emotional vampires. They will suck you dry, because they were not properly cultivated or assimilated into society. Their emotional needs were not fulfilled as a child, so now they need a caretaker. They need someone to look after them for the rest of their lives, because they're never going to admit that they have a problem. They're never going to seek help. They're never going to put in the work, and they're going to continue to be a dead weight for other people. People who are disciplined, people who work very hard. Which means that they will drain your energy, your time, your resources, and anything else you have to offer, and they will make you think that it's you. Many of these people even have the potential to drive you clinically insane, or to leave you broke, homeless, without support, or to anger and frustrate you to the point where you lash out at them, and then they get you locked up for trying to protect yourself, because they're really sick people. They're dangerous. They're like termites in society. They distort people's intentions and motives. They turn everything upside down. They tear everything apart, to the point where it's difficult to tell what's real and what's not. And this is why you have to be very careful, because they have the potential to make you look like the problem. And then so many wonderful people are going to miss out on the potential that you have to offer, because this is what they do. They ruin it for everyone. They can't get over themselves. They can't accept that what happened to them as a child happened to a lot of people, and that is no excuse for them to take out their pain on innocent people. But that's just it. They're so traumatized and they lack self-awareness that they don't even realize that they view us as their parents. And this is why they feel entitled to everything we have. This is why they do the exact same thing to us that they did with their parents. They use a false self, they pretend to be something they're not, to get things that they don't deserve. Because at that time when they were a child, they weren't old enough to understand that they deserved everything, just by them being their authentic selves. Thank you for watching. If you found this video helpful, please give it a thumbs up. Share your thoughts in the comment section. Hit the subscribe button to receive the notifications. If you would like to support the channel, you can donate at paypal.me/Narc Survivor. You can book a one-on-one with me on my website. It's narcsurvivor.co.uk. Thank you for watching, and I'll talk to you soon.